Hey friends, one of the topics I've been dying to talk about here is ChatGPT. It's having a huge impact on business and marketing, and there is a lot of hype surrounding it as well. So we definitely need to unpack this a bit. What it is, how to use it, what to watch out for, and a lot more. So to begin, here's a simple explanation of what ChatGPT is. Imagine Imagine you have a really smart friend and you can text them any question and they will give you a very detailed answer. You can then continue the conversation with this friend by texting them a follow up question, and it can go on and on. That is essentially what it is. And like a lot of tech tools, the key to getting the most out of it is knowing how to use it. With ChatGPT, that means knowing how to phrase your questions and instructions, otherwise known as prompts. To write an effective prompt, you want to make sure your prompts are specific, provide context to give an even clearer understanding of what you're looking for. You also want to specify the format you want the answer to be in, whether that's a bullet point list, a table, a certain number of words, and you want to ask follow-up questions to refine the initial output it gives you. Now, the people who created ChatGPT made it smart by feeding it a whole bunch of information, including the general web, content from newspapers, books, and many other sources. They trained it on this data set and then fine-tuned it to perform specific tasks, such as answering questions in a very human-like way. So that's basically what it is. It's an AI chatbot developed by a company called OpenAI. And people are using ChatGPT for a huge range of tasks, from research to generating ideas, to creating content, to writing email replies. And as you've probably noticed, AI is exploding right now, and so is the hype about it online. While AI is undoubtedly a game changer, we need to be careful not to get sucked into the get rich quick schemes we see circulating on TikTok, YouTube, and elsewhere, and the overhyped fantasies about how you can use AI to build a business from scratch and then automate every single task, running a business without lifting a finger and becoming an instant millionaire. Keep in mind, artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, it's still very much in its infancy right now at the time of this recording in April 2023. And by the way, I don't know about you, but I really don't like the idea of handing over my entire business to a robot and having it hire people for me, create and post content completely on its own through something like AutoGPT. No thanks. I'd rather see it as an augmentation tool to augment humans in business. For me, as a business clarity mentor, it's kind of like how I view my one-on-one clients, as partners working together to co-create a winning business and marketing strategy by blending my clients' deep knowledge and expertise in their field with my business and marketing brain. Together, we create something better than what we could have achieved alone, right? And so I think that's a great way to think about ChatGPT and AI. I have admittedly been going down the AI rabbit hole lately, and in fact, I'm going to edit this podcast episode you're listening to right now with a new AI tool. It's actually from Adobe Podcast. It's pretty simple to use. You just upload your podcast recording and it enhances the sound as if it was recorded in a professional studio. Pretty cool, right? And helpful because I record this in my office, which is right next to a very busy, loud street in Amsterdam. So it filters out the background noise. Anyway, but yeah, I noticed recently that for me, I've been getting a little too sucked into the hype and the tools and the posts about AI to the point where it does become overwhelming and you start to feel the FOMO really bad, like fear of missing out if you don't try all the thousands of AI tools and keep up with the latest developments every day. And you have the social media influencers literally saying at the top of their videos, use this or you'll be left behind. I mean, talk about an anxiety producing scare tactic, right? Right now, I'm in an online community hosted by George Cow on this topic. And someone in there said something so wise the other day. He shared how he was feeling the FOMO and overwhelm, so he decided to clear a couple days on his calendar to just sit down and get focused and intentional. He asked himself, when it comes to ChatGPT and the thousands of AI tools out there, what do I really need? How can it serve me? And how can it serve my clients? So that's great advice. And whether you carve out 2 days or just an hour per week, try to work out how these tools can help you achieve your current business goals. Get focused and strategic about it, experiment and incorporate these tools one baby step at a time with a focus on what will be the most useful to you and to your clients and to your process of getting them results and speeding up your workflow, optimizing your content. And with the understanding that you'll never be able to research every tool out there. That is a recipe for burnout and getting stuck. We live in an era where we have access to endless tech tools at our disposal. And the trap we can fall into is spending too much time and money on them. You could spend 2 weeks, for example, analyzing and testing the difference between MailChimp and MailerLite for your email newsletter, when at the end of the day, the tool doesn't matter as much as just getting the task done, getting your business out there, and taking action. My clients, they use a variety of tools for different things, and I will often recommend certain tools, but the answer is whatever tool works best for you, the tool that feels comfortable and usable and serves your current needs is the tool you should use. Tools are really just a means to an end. But back to ChatGPT, here are 5 amazing ways to use ChatGPT in your business. Try these 5 things out. Number 1, as a market research tool. If you're in the early stages of business or pivoting your brand, you can tell ChatGPT to act as a market research specialist and then ask it to identify potential market niches, build audience personas, perform a SWOT analysis, discover other competitors or thought leaders who talk about your favorite topics. And you can use it to gain clarity on your ideal clients, what they want, what they struggle with. And here's a great question to ask. What do people secretly fear when hiring a fill in your title, right? And then you can address those fears in your marketing. All right, number 2, it's a great way to break through creative blocks and overcome the blank page when you need to write a piece of content. So use ChatGPT to give you a basic starting point to get the creative juices flowing, Ask it to brainstorm topic ideas or talking points. Ask it to give you an outline or even generate a complete draft. It's great to use for generating blog post title ideas and email subject line ideas. Now, once you have a draft, you can use ChatGPT then to optimize it. For example, try writing a draft LinkedIn post and then ask ChatGPT to rewrite it and include a catchy hook, a call to action, 3 hashtags, and some emojis. Okay, number 3, use it to assist you in naming your programs and offers. That's really important, what you name them. give ChatGPT lots of context about your offer: who it's for, features and benefits, the big promise or ultimate outcomes, what your role is, etc. Then ask it for name ideas. This is a great one for naming any offer, such as a signature coaching program, a workshop or webinar, a masterclass or online course, a book, you name it. Number 4, summarizing or repurposing content. So let's say you want to write a 200-word bio. Once you have that, ask ChatGPT to write a 50-word version. Let's say you write a blog post. Once you have that, ask ChatGPT to write a 50-word social media post that introduces it. And here's a specific idea. Let's say you're on Instagram, okay? Go back and find your most popular post. Copy the text of that post into ChatGPT and use this prompt. Act as a social media copywriter for Instagram. Repurpose the following into a different but similar post. Okay, you get the idea. So it's great for repurposing content. And number 5, try using it to gain clarity on your unique value. Here's what I mean by this. Try feeding ChatGPT a collection of your favorite testimonials you've received from past clients. Get those together, feed that into ChatGPT, then ask it to summarize the information into detailed themes. I love this one. Try this one. With this insight, you can gain more clarity on how to position yourself in the market and what to emphasize. Now, before we wrap up, I need to give you a few very important warnings. I know it's tempting to view this impressive tool as a magic wand, but just because it can spit out something in 30 seconds doesn't mean it's going to spit out something good. A lot of the content is very fluffy and generic sounding. And what kills me is people are just copying and pasting stuff. But once you know how ChatGPT works, how it talks, you start to recognize it. I've seen some posts and content online where it's just obvious they copied it right from ChatGPT. So inevitably, more and more people will flood the web with this kind of boring, mediocre content, and pretty soon it's all going to sound the same. But as I said earlier, it's way better to view the tool as an assistant or augmentation tool. It's not a replacement for human creativity. It can't add in your own personal perspective, spin, and stories. It can't add in your authentic emotions, experiences, personality, your quirkiness, or ways of saying things. So, as you use ChatGPT, here are 5 more things I want you to watch out for. 1, it was only fed information up until sometime in 2021, so it's a little out of date. And like the web, it contains a lot of disinformation and inaccurate information. Number 2, some have nicknamed ChatGPT a bullshit generator, pointing to the fact that it's trained to produce plausible sounding text. And it has a way of phrasing things in a very conclusive and confident way, regardless of whether or not it's actually true. 3, the tool has shortcomings around bias and produces outputs sometimes that are racist, sexist, homophobic, ableist, etc. And it sort of makes sense given that it's trained on web content, and a lot of that is toxic. 4, there are privacy concerns, so do be careful about feeding it any sensitive information. And finally, the content ChatGPT generates, it's not great for SEO. Fluffy, low content, spammy content doesn't rank well in general. But whether or not Google is actively detecting and downgrading AI-generated content is unclear at the moment. So, my friends, how are you feeling about all this? I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. and excited to use this tool more in my business while maintaining a clear-eyed view of its limitations. Remember, stay focused, don't get overwhelmed by the hype and the FOMO, keep that playful mindset, and remember to think of it as augmentation. The world still needs your uniqueness, your humanness, and in the end, that is the only true way and best way to stand out.